Hey internet, welcome to my channel. So you've seen the title of this video and I just want to start off by saying this is not a video complaining about how different the world is now. This is mostly just why me personally would not want to spend a copious amount of money on a Walt Disney World vacation anytime soon. So if you know me, you know I absolutely love Disney. Like, look at the way I'm dressed. I have a extremely expensive Spirit jersey on, and I have some ears that my mom made. I will put the Instagram handle down here somewhere so you can see my mom makes ears, and they are very good. And so there's no ill will in anything that I'm going to be saying. This is literally my favorite place on earth. I wish I could be there. However, there is a saying by Walt Disney that says, I don't want the public to see the world they live in while they're in the park. I want to feel they're in another world, which while you're wearing masks and so many restrictions, I feel like it would be a little bit impossible to do that. There's a lot of changes with the pandemic, and I'm gonna get started on why I personally would not want to be there, and I just feel like it wouldn't be the same. So Mika's joining us. She's laying on the Simba. Hey Miki. Hey Mimi. Okay, so the first reason for me is the most obvious, and that is that Florida's COVID cases are quite out of control still. Where I live, there's about 100 to 150 cases per day. And from what I've been seeing, Florida has in July like 9 to 10,000 a day. I don't know if that's still the same. I wrote this a little bit later, but it still does seem like they have a lot of cases. So that in itself is scary enough for me to not travel to Florida at all at this time. So there are more reasons why, and I'm not going to go into full length on each one about, but let's just start with my literal favorite thing about Disney magic, and that is not currently happening right now, and that is nightly fireworks. Fireworks are my everything. I cry at fireworks literally every time because they're just so powerful and they make you feel like so much emotion while you're there, and they're not allowed for obviously a good reason. They're not allowed to draw crowds, and if you've ever been to Disney World and you've ever stood in the area for fireworks, you know that it is front to back packed from Castle all the way down Main Street. And this also means, since there's no crowds allowed, that there is no stage shows, so there's no like, they usually have like a morning show, and then there's like a certain amount of shows along the day that they do, and there's also no parades, and parades are incredibly huge part of the magic while you're there. They are currently doing cavalcades right now, so what that is they have it's almost like they have the parade floats, but they come in like singles, and they have the characters on it waving at you and like coming through. It seems like quite often during the day, so you will still get to see your favorite characters, your favorite princesses, but you will not be allowed to interact with them personally. And this seems to be going on at every park too. Magic Kingdom, Epcot, I don't know if I've seen it at Animal Kingdom yet in any of the videos that I've been watching, but and at Hollywood Studios as well. So moving on to some more crucial changes, such as you are no longer allowed to park hop, which means one ticket means going to one park. Before, you were allowed to purchase park hoppers and regular day passes. Park hoppers would give you the opportunity to go to one park in the morning, go back to your hotel room, go anywhere else if you want to go to like a restaurant in Florida, and then come back, and that's one ticket day. We would usually do it in the sense where we would go in the morning and like do whatever we wanted to do, and then come back either to the same park or a different park for fireworks. So park hopping is no longer allowed, which is kind of a huge thing. which is what I always buy when I go, is park hoppers. Fast passes are no longer being used as well. Fast passes are a huge advantage to anyone that isn't like a resident of Florida. It gets you into parks it gets you onto rides almost instantly. There's a lot of new rides, and there's more rides coming that will need fast passes. They currently still do have virtual queues, which are almost like fast passes, but they're not at every single ride. And it seems like just doing the single line is a little bit better. And right now in the parks, the wait times are still not that much because there's still not a lot of people going to Disney World. And also they stopped reservations for 2020, and they're only starting new reservations for 2021. Another thing that is huge for me when I go is food. A lot of the food there is amazing, and I want to eat it all when I'm there. And right now a lot of food stalls and restaurants are still closed. To think at the top of my head, ones that are still closed to this day: Casey's Corner, which is at the end of Main Street, which is like where you get corn dog nuggets, which are like fabulous. I think a lot of I don't think any character dining is happening right now. I think they are starting one in the middle of September. I don't know how it's gonna work. Like, I haven't seen any like writing on how that's gonna work, so there's no character dining right now. But some stalls are closed that have like great stuff at it. But it does seem now, at least from when it first opened back up, I don't think they had these separate things available. But if you wanted something, like for example in Magic Kingdom, they have the Cheshire Cat Cafe. They had I'll put it right here, the Cheshire Cat tail, which is so good, but the Cheshire Cat Cafe is still closed. But now you can actually get it at Cosmic Ray Starlight Cafe. So they know which snacks are good, and they're just trying to put them in different spots. So if you are looking for something that you really like, kind of look around at the restaurants around, and they might have it. But one thing that is still closed is the spring roll cart, which was so good. We got cheeseburger spring rolls and the pizza spring rolls last year. As far as I know, the one in Magic Kingdom is still closed. Moving on, extra magic hours and extra add-on events. Actually today, the 12th of September, they just announced that the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is not happening this year. And we kind of expected that, considering they did cancel the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party for August to October. But they are going to be having some holiday festivities for both Halloween and Christmas. The times for the parks have been drastically cut. That was like a huge thing for us, as we would go during the magic hours, which are for people staying on property. You get to either stay an hour late or go in an hour before. So they're just not being offered right now just because of the cut hours, and there's cut hours everywhere for everything, so I understand that one as well. Another thing that is not being offered at this time, which is basically everything that accumulates into my package when I go, is dining plans. Dining plan is a huge thing that's why we usually go in September. September is when they usually offer the free dining. This is what I base my bookings off of, is the free dining plan. Because going to Disney, and especially, it's gonna be hard now, because if they don't offer it by the time that I want to go back, which is probably next year, September, they don't offer cash anymore, which a lot of places aren't offering cash. And for someone that's coming from Canada to the US, it's easiest to use cash, because a lot of times when I use my credit card, I get what's it called, a conversion fee. So I either have to get a American credit card, or maybe when I go into the hotel, I can give them all my cash and then they could put it on my Magic Band and I could use that. I'm not sure. Like that's something I have to think about when we want to go back, because they are no longer offering cash options at all of the Disney World parks right now. Everything is either credit or debit, and dining plans not being offered is like a deal breaker for me, absolutely. So another huge thing for me is I do like to make sure that when I'm going to Disney World, I have every single day planned out to a T. Like literally last year, I made a 6-page itinerary for me and my family so that we wouldn't miss anything. And one of the things you have to do now is reserve your spot in a park. So what that means is, I'm not sure how many days, I can put it here if I figure it out. You have to reserve your spot in a park. So it's almost like booking like your fast pass, like you have 60 days prior to your departure. You reserve your spot in the park, and then you can go. And usually that's what I'm saying is the itinerary being made, and then if I don't get the park that I want, or it's just like another stress that you have to add on to going on a vacation, paying a lot of money for it, and not having the absolute freedom to go wherever you want, whenever you want. I get it, it's all precautionary, but this like kind of sucks. Like it's not a usual thing for them to have bookings, and I don't know how long this is gonna last. So far it's still been going on since it opened. But yeah, that's a huge stress for me to add on to my planning and making sure that I get everything done that I want to get done when I'm there. So a somewhat less important thing to me, personally, but is probably a huge thing for people with kids, is character meet and greets are completely different now. I do usually like to do a couple meet and greets while I'm there, but now you are no longer allowed to have a personal interaction with them. Like you would stand in line and then go up to them, have your turn to talk to them and hug them and whatever. Yeah, that's not happening anymore. They still, like I said, they still are out on the streets and in the cavalcades at Magic Kingdom. They are all on the train station waving at you, so you will be able to see Mickey Mouse, which is one of the hardest things to do, but you're not allowed to have a personal interaction with them because of social distancing measures that are being taken place there. Okay guys, so I may be missing some changes here, but these are the reasons that are enough for me to kill the magic a little bit. From what I'm seeing in videos, it also seems like a lot of people aren't taking the mask policy seriously. I have no issues with wearing masks, and masks are mandatory in the parks, but you also cannot rely on everyone to follow the rules. When you're, a lot of people are taking advantage of like, they actually say it in the announcement. They say like, you're allowed to take it off when you're stationary. Like when you're stationary and you're eating or drinking, you have to stay still. Like you can't be walking around eating like a churro and have your mask off. You have to get your churro, eat it in like a certain spot, and then continue on. Along with all these changes and substitutions and cancellations, and here's the big thing, pricing is still the same. Nothing has changed when it comes to pricing. I just hope you have learned something about going to Disney World during this time. And like I said, I don't want this to be do not go to Disney video. I just want people to know what they're spending their money on if they do go right now and they're not getting the full experience that you usually do, and to only be disappointed when they arrive. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any suggestions on what other kind of Disney content you want to see, comment down below, and make sure to hit the subscribe button and like button, and whatever that bell thing is, hit that as well. If you want to see more Disney videos from me, and I hope you learned something today. And I still love Disney. I miss it so much. I wish I could be going back right now, but yeah, it's just not in the cards for me right now. And love you guys. Stay curious.